Yay Media Group.
Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS. Ooh, my hair looks good today.
Oh,
you know,
good for
I
you.
curled it 2 days ago, and this is the one thing I can say about my hair is if I curl it once, it will last a good 3 days. Now, it doesn't look a little raggedy, yes, but you know what? It's not bad for...
Just gonna ride that curl into the sunset.
I am. I'm like, yes. So before I got here, my kids are both in football camp. One gets out at 10, one gets out at 10:30, and it is a race to pick my youngest one up every day because my oldest is constantly running late. So during that time, I always go to the store and get groceries or whatever they need. Like I have 30 minutes where I don't have time to go home. So I'm like, what can I do? And usually it's shopping. What do I need to do? So today I go and I buy just some like little things at Whole Foods, or not Whole Foods, but at Tom Thumb. And one of the things I got was baby oil, right?
Why?
Because I think baby oil is the best thing in the world to use on your skin. It makes your skin so soft. I think it's better than lotion. I have tried both. When I use baby oil, Travis is like, oh my God, your skin is so soft. And I like the way it smells. Anyways, I like baby oil. It's better than any lotion. I bought some real expensive lotion. Baby oil is the best thing in the world, okay?
I feel like Diddy ruined baby oil.
So wait, I'm going to have to get to my story, right? So I go shopping and I have to get my kids. So then we get home and I always make them undo the groceries, right? For two reasons. A, I had no makeup on and I had this podcast I had to get to. And B, because they need to learn adult skills like how to put groceries away, right? And I didn't buy a lot of stuff. So they're like taking everything out and I'm making them these little tacos for lunch that I got at Costco that all I have to do is put in the microwave, 10 out of 10 idea. I'm heating up these tacos and my oldest son, Chance, is unpacking and he's like, Mom, what in the world are you and what kind of freaky stuff are you and Dad into? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, what is this big bottle of baby oil? And I'm like, nothing. What are you talking about, right? So he's like, that is disturbing. So then he goes, gets a drink. Cruz comes over, starts like putting things in the pantry. And Cruz is like, Mom, what is wrong with you? You and Dad over here rubbing baby oil on each other. So my kids think baby oil is nasty for some reason. And then Chance is like, yeah, I don't know what kind of P. Diddy stuff they're into. But yeah, so anyways. Speaking of P. Diddy, yes, my baby oil thing, my kids were like,
that you
what
have a
in the
freak
world?
off.
But if you want to get your skin real, real soft, baby oil. I swear to you, I've tried everything. It's cheap. It's effective. It's a slip and slide. Can be, but just put it on, let it dry, rub it in real good.
Yeah,
so
I believe
good.
you.
10 out of 10
on that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But why would you use baby oil for sex? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. I just ask him.
I don't know where my kids, maybe because of P. Diddy, I don't know where they got the
Yeah,
sexual
for
stuff
sure.
in baby oil. That's probably why, yeah. But they were like, they were so disturbed that I bought baby oil.
I'm
like,
a little disturbed myself.
well, whatever.
Okay, so I called you over the weekend and told you to watch this. Did you watch the Kim Kardashian Impact documentary on the robbery?
No.
I can't say I'm surprised. But if you haven't watched it, I highly recommend it. It is so good. These impact documentaries, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. This one was really good. This one, they interviewed the concierge.
At the hotel?
From the hotel.
Okay.
And they interviewed one of the robbers.
Ooh.
Which was so interesting.
What did the robber look like? Was he young or old? Or?
Old guy. And that's kind of the nickname they got, was they were like the grandpa robbers. So they went through kind of the whole thing, but one of the robbers actually wrote a book.
Ooh.
And is selling his book.
Oh.
Actually, two of the robbers, I think they co-wrote the book together. And it was basically titled, like, How to Rob Kim Kardashian. Blah, blah, blah.
Shut up. That's
So they
the name of it?
Yeah, it was something along those lines.
Stop. Okay.
It was like OJ writing a book. It was just, like, he admitted to it. So that when it came time for the trial, like, they were guilty. Now, here's what's so interesting. And this just shows you how the judicial system works in other places. It's not like America. They were found guilty, but the judge said that because of their age, they basically aged out of serving time.
Because they're too old.
They're too old.
How old are they?
Like mid-60s.
Dang.
So they had already served 2 years, and the judge said that was enough, and they're free to go. Here's the weird thing, is they can now go sell the jewels.
So they still have the jewelry?
Yes.
They never give them back to her?
And Kim kind of said she doesn't really want it back. They didn't say they still had
I'll
the
take
jewelry. But like Kim's been paid out by insurance. So like it would go to insurance if it went anywhere. But like one of the things that was stolen was her a Rolex that her dad gave her whenever she graduated high school or college. And she was like, I don't want that stuff back because now it has a different memory attached to it that I don't want. But they went through the whole thing. And this was very interesting because they stayed at this hotel in Paris that didn't have a name at the time. And it's since been named and changed management and all that stuff. But it was like a concierge hotel service where you had to like know someone to get in. So it was really only where like celebrities stayed. And it was like $3,500 a night for a room, but they were all really big rooms. I think there was only like 12 in the building. And you have to go through this like alleyway that you have to go through these gates that then takes you to this alleyway that then takes you inside where there's a concierge and then you go to the room. And it was really the perfect storm as to how they were able to do this. And one of the questions the reporter asked the robber was, did you know who you were robbing? And he said, no, I didn't know who Kim Kardashian was. I just knew we were robbing a rapper's wife.
Oh.
And she was there for Fashion Week, and she'd been flaunting her ring the whole time. And Courtney went out to some club, so they only brought one security personnel with them to Paris. The rest they like hired when they were there. So Courtney took that person with her to the club, and Kim and the stylist and I think an assistant were at the hotel in bed asleep. When these guys came in, they rode up on bikes and the gates just happened to be open and they were able
to the hotel.
Yep. And they just walked in and they held the concierge at gunpoint until he gave them the key to the room, and they continued to hold him at gunpoint for about 45 minutes.
What?
And they went up to her room and she said she saw the door open and she knew immediately something was wrong, and she thought she was going to die. And then she was just like preparing herself mentally that like, she's like, I'm about to be raped and I just need to like sit here and deal with that. And so they came in and they just kept saying, where's the ring? Where's the ring? And they tied her up. She was naked in the bathroom, like zip tied her and covered her mouth. The stylist heard what was going on and she was able to hide in the hotel to where they never found her.
Whoa. So they went looking for other people?
Well, they knew exactly where Kim's room was.
Okay.
So that's what, whenever Kim did her initial report, she was like, the concierge was very calm.
Yes.
Because that just seemed odd, which, yeah. Kind of odd. And the concierge, his point was, you know, what else am I supposed to do? Like, I'm being held at gunpoint. If I freak out, they're going to shoot me. So the concierge actually ended up being deported. He was there on a student visa. And he is now suing the robbers for the proceeds of the book because he's been diagnosed with PTSD. He ended up writing Kim a letter like a year after this all happened and was like, I had nothing to do with this, and you saying that I did has now ruined my life.
Oh, I don't blame him. Yeah.
But also totally see why she would think that he
yeah.
was involved, because there are so many ways that you shouldn't have gotten to her, and they had a key.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, if you're being held at gunpoint, and I don't know. I mean, I mean, I
but
have
it was
two
like,
children.
why were the gates open?
If it's given somebody a key to a room, or me losing my life, here's a key.
But it was like, why were the gates open? Why was the front door unlocked?
Yeah.
Why was all these things that like he had control of?
I mean,
weren't
maybe,
aligned?
but he wasn't. They say he was not.
He was not, and they've proven that since then. So the robber says he took the jewelry, and they initially got in because this is how they got in the building. They had police jackets, but they were told, so they were hired by someone else to go do this job.
Okay.
And they were told they were getting police jackets. And he thought they were going to be police jackets.
Yeah.
But he said it was really just a jacket that had police written on the back.
Shut up. Okay.
So it wasn't even, like, good. But they still let him in. And that's, you know, what went down inside the hotel. So then the guy said he was leaving. And he got back on his bike, and his bike had a flat tire. But he was like, I still got to pedal. So he was pedaling, and he was going down a street. I think he was a block away from the hotel.
And these are like 60-something-year-olds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. A block away from the hotel. And he sees a police car, and he waves at the police, and the police wave back, and he just keeps carrying on. And he said he got about, I think it was 50 to 100 feet away from the police, but like still very much in view, and he falls off his bike because of the flat tire. And the jewels go flying out of his backpack all over the sidewalk. And he quickly gathers them all again, throws them back in his backpack, and carries on. Nothing happened.
Wow.
Isn't that
That
crazy?
is insane, yeah.
So the fact that all that happened, they admitted it. The reporter asked him, like, do you regret it? And he was like, no. And they were like, would you do it again? He was like, yeah. He was like, she got paid out. He was like, I got what I came for. We're good. He's like, sorry that, she has emotional trauma over it.
Yeah, that's a lot of trauma over
but
that.
he was like, and, sorry for the concierge and the way he feels. But like, yeah, I'm not sorry I did it. It was, and I'm like,
crazy.
This man's free. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
So if you have time, watch it. It was actually a very good documentary.
I'm going to watch it. I've just been I was so busy. We had to take our boat and put it in the water, and then it was just it was a weekend. It was a weekend.
I know you had nothing to do with that. I just know for a fact.
No, and then we took it out for a little bit.
What do you mean What do you mean we put our boat in the water?
We did. Travis.
What does that mean?
He drove the truck, and I was the passenger, and then
you sat in the boat and said, "Yep, it's in the water."
And then he backed the truck up. My brother-in-law also went with his kid. He backed the truck up. I was in the boat while I was
overseeing
like,
the boat operations.
I was like making sure he did a good job backing the boat into the water. Then it was hot. There was no canopy up because we just got it back. We got the whole interior redone. Looks really nice, but it looks like a lizard. I'm going to be honest. I call it the lizard, leaping lizard.
Wait, I liked your interior before. Why'd you get it redone?
What was it before? Like white and gray?
Yeah, it was like a quilted white stitch. It was very nice.
Well, now,
why did we redo that?
Now, because we bought I forget what the name of the company is, but it was a faulty interior. I'm going to figure out what that boat name is because I want everyone here not to buy the boat because I feel like they really messed up on our interior.
It's not a Mastercraft, is it?
No,
Maybe
it's not.
No.
It's a Tigay. Tigay?
Oh, yes. It's a really nice boat.
It was a nice boat. But even Tigay says there was a fault. It was something like faulty with the interior. It just started ripping.
Oh.
We don't ever take that thing out, so it should not have ripped. And so we had it completely redone, and it looks beautiful. But it's like tan with like this black, and it's like they call it the Lamborghini. Quilting or whatever. Like it's cool, but it reminds me of a lizard because it's a sparkly green boat with anyways, it's a lizard. And so that's So anyway, so we take the lizard out and we take the lizard out and it's me and my brother-in-law, our two kids, Travis, because we just took it in the water for the first time, and we also moved to Louisville instead of Hubbard, which is much better. I had no idea what we were missing out on. I was like, this is 10 million times better. Yeah. So it's much better. But there was, I got my face lasered for the second time 10 days ago. Mm-hmm. This masterpiece is not supposed to be in the sun at the moment, right? And my chest. So I'm sitting there feeling very vulnerable because I am like, this is not supposed to get any sun. Everything will get worse instead of better. And
So why are you on a boat?
Because we have this little canopy over it, right? And what I do when I'm in the boat is I hop around from one spot to the next, depending on where the shade is under this canopy. But the canopy was down because we got the interior done, and it's been, it was winterized or whatever. And so my brother-in-law did not know how to put the canopy up. So finally, after 10 minutes of being out in the sun, I said, drive me to land. To the shore. I'm going to get off and hide under a tree until Travis gets done, because Travis had to go take the truck and take the trailer and all that. Anyway, he took a lot longer than he was supposed to. And I was like, I'm not messing up my face for this. So they took me by the land. I got on it under a tree and sat there like a creep with all the children around me. I looked like a creeper because all the kids, it was just me and a bunch of children playing around me. And I looked like, I had issues. And then I saw Travis, and only then did I get in. And then he put the canopy up. We went out in the boat, which was great. It was lovely. And we didn't have any inner tube for the children. So we just let them pretend like they were Navy SEALs and jump off the boat 3 or 4 times. And we got ice cream. Very sweet. But long story short, since it was our first time, we had never... the little buoy things that your boats go on, with the slip, and you press a button and then the thing drops down.
Yeah.
Well,
the anchor?
No, it's like, whenever you go back, have you ever been to the lake?
Oh, like where you dock it?
Yeah, we have like a slip.
Yeah.
And then, whenever the
thing that lifts
the thing
it up.
lifts up
Yeah.
and it has no air, and then it fills up with water, and then it sinks down. Well, our thing was up because it had been up all year, right? So it took 45 minutes for that thing to go down. 45 minutes. We had 3 grown-ass men jumping on that thing trying to get it to go down. I don't know what's wrong with it.
I think it's broken. It should take like 2 minutes.
It was horrible. Travis said when there's a boat on it, the boat gives you so much weight. That's why it's faster. But since it was the first time. Anyways, it was horrible. It took us it was an hour, almost 45 minutes, yeah. So then we went to Costco. It was just a long weekend.
Sounds like you had a really stressful weekend.
We went to Costco. We only had 45 minutes to get all the food we needed. It was a long, yeah. So I could not watch Impact.
Well, I'm so sorry. All that to say, she didn't watch it. Thank you for your honesty.
You're welcome.
And I'm sorry you went through that.
It was stressful. Yeah.
I did on Friday. I called Stephanie and I said, you messed up. Because I invited her to this thing at Eataly. They do this thing. They do it at all the Eatlys twice a year. It's called All You Can Eataly. And it was the most amazing. You would have loved this so much. They shut down the entire store. If you don't know what Eataly is, it's like a really nice grocery store. But they also have like restaurants. They have really good pasta.
It's delicious.
It's amazing.
It's super good.
But they shut down the entire thing. And there's just like food everywhere. And you buy a ticket. It's kind of expensive. It's like $125.
How much is it?
It's $125.
Okay.
But it's also all you can drink.
Oh, is it good
and
wine?
they have, yes.
Okay, that's worth it.
And I was like, I'm gonna get my money's worth, and I got full real quick, which really made me upset. But I was like, I'm gonna do this till I throw up.
And did you?
I didn't throw up. I was a champ, but I got $126 worth of food at that place.
I would like to all you can Eataly in the winter and not when I'm trying to get my summer body going.
The November ones, it aligns with some holiday. I don't know what it is, but they do it at all the locations across. It was so much fun. And
Were there a lot of people there?
Oh, so many people there. But it was like, I would say there were those that got full real quick, like myself. And then there were those, because like we were in line ready to go at 7:30 when those doors opened. So was everyone else.
I know what we're going to do for the November one.
What?
We're going to do all you can Eataly after a week of doing Prolon. That way we'll be like, yes, that way we would just destroy everything that we worked so hard for.
But we need to go at like 8 because everyone was full by 8 that got there at 7:30. So we're just going to do it a little differently. But if you haven't gone, you should definitely come.
It's so good.
It was so much fun.
They have a lot of truffle stuff.
Yes.
They
had this giant cheese wheel and there was like truffle stuff in it and they were just like spinning pasta. It was great.
Yum.
And you had this little, they give you a wine glass and you had this little like bag that you wore on your chest that like held your wine glass.
A bag?
Yes. It was like a little wine glass holder. It was cute.
Oh, that's cute. I could get behind
and
that.
Effective. Oh no, it was a time.
I could get behind that.
It was a very like adult activity. It was like, look at us on a Friday night.
Yeah, you and your husband. Was it just you and your husband?
Yeah.
That's so romantic. I know. He did invite me, and then I was like, is it Travis and I or just me?
No,
and then
there was,
you said,
you know what,
Travis and you, and then I
saw
was
a few
like,
kids.
Well, I don't know if I'd spend $120 on my children because they barely eat a chicken nugget.
There's ticket would have been cheaper.
Huh?
They don't have the wine. I wish there was an option that I don't like wine.
Oh, I love wine.
So that's why I was like, I don't know if I'm worth the ticket.
I could have got my money's worth just wine alone.
No, I think so.
Yeah.
But like, I don't like wine, so I was like, well, okay. They had a few like Italian margaritas and other stuff at some of the restaurants, but it was.
Was it like in the main area? Because they have
everywhere.
2 different restaurants.
No, it was everywhere.
It was like upstairs.
All the restaurants had all their main courses out there, pizzas and pastas, and then the one upstairs had a bunch of really good food.
Oh, really?
There's food everywhere. It was great.
Oh, that's nice. Okay,
Yep.
next time I'm like going to be more the fall when I'm wearing sweatpants. Right now, I actually do have to get in a swimsuit a few times, so I'm really trying. I like doing these workouts every day.
Oh yeah, it's good for you.
By the way, this is me doing the Lord's work to everybody listening who maybe doesn't have a gym membership or has free weights at home. Caroline Girvan, Girvan, do her series. She has free series on YouTube. I have been doing it. I'm now on day 17. I can tell such a difference. I mean, I
What
swear.
is it? It's like a workout program?
I take my clothes off. I can't believe it. I'm like, what is this muscle? It is a whole workout series, and I'm doing her iron series. She has a bunch of different ones, but it's 100% free. I like her workouts. First of all, she has a great body, but also you're working out. She's working out with you, and she's having to take breaks because she's so stressed out about her workout, which I appreciate because I'm like, me too, sugar. So we take breaks together. But Caroline Girvan, Girvan.
Where'd you find this lady?
I was on, okay, I'm not going to lie. I have way too much free time. I was on TikTok and I was Googling how to get a hot body in a short amount of time. And then like tricks, right? And everybody was saying like her series were amazing. Like she was amazing. And then so I found her on YouTube, and she's one of the few people who everything is free. Like she doesn't, there's not a lot of there's no ads or anything. Like she gives you 10 out of 10 workouts. It's like you have a personal trainer at your house, and all you need are some free weights. So, but I've been doing that at home. I was going to go get my Equinox membership renewed, and then I was like, I'm going to try this. And
I've heard that Equinox is really going downhill, especially the one in Dallas.
well, I just wanted a gym membership, you know, but I also know that it has to be convenient or I will never go. And that's super convenient. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to find something online, like different apps. And then I kept reading about this girl, and I found her stuff, and it's super, I mean, it's hard. Like sometimes I have to pause it. Like I'm going to get 30% through and then give myself a 3-minute timeout because it's hard. But I feel like you get strong real fast. But yes, do her iron series, 10 out of 10.
Oh, well,
so I've been
congrats
doing
on your hot
that.
body.
And then I'm also doing, which I'm paying for, another series. Can you tell it's summer and I decided I need a hot body in like two weeks. I'm also doing Forma Pilates app, which is great, but it's kind of expensive. It's like $35 a month, but it's cheaper than a gym membership. And I'm kind of doing those back and forth. Like I'll do Caroline Gervin for 2 to 3 days, and then I'll do Forma Pilates for 2 to 3 days, and I kind of mix them both in. Yeah. So
Where are you going? Where do you need to wear a swimsuit?
Well, we have a house in Montana, and we have a boat there that.
You have a boat there?
Well, we paid this fee that we can have. We have 5 different boats we can choose
Oh,
from.
you have a boat share.
Yeah, so it's like from the.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, so it's from that hotel that's on the water, like they call Travis, and it's kind of great because even if we're not there, I probably shouldn't say this, but whatever. But because we don't live there and it's expensive, if we're not there, we can have like. My cousin went there. They let her and her family use it, even though it wasn't us.
No, that's great because you don't have to maintain your boat.
Well, yeah, that's
the best way to do a boat.
Yeah, it's great. It's great, and the boats are all brand new.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's nice. We have I think we have between like pontoons and then like boats like we have in Dallas, Texas, and then they have jet skis too that our kids can use. So yeah.
I don't know what it is about. And Zach is he's a great, careful driver. So I met him driving a boat stresses me out. I'm like, you're going to flip this thing over.
No, he'll be good. Chance drove our boat.
Oh, really?
And he did a great job. I think Chance, for his birthday, he wants to do a lake house. And then I'm probably Lake Louisville.
This party has changed so many times.
I know, because I was like, bring 7 friends to Montana, and then, I don't know, now he's thinking Lake Louisville. I have no idea.
There aren't lake houses on Lake Louisville.
Actually, there are a few, because I found some.
They don't have direct lake access, though.
We don't need direct lake. I mean, no, this one has like a slip on the house. Like it has a boat slip. It has a dock, but we already have a boat slip. So more or anything, it's just like, so you're close and you're not at your house.
Closer. Okay.
Yeah, like just a house on the water pretty much is what he wants. But there is a boat slip, but we wouldn't use it because we have a boat slip there. That would be stupid. So yeah, I think we're gonna do that. Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Hollman on TikTok and Instagram.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast, and you can watch us on YouTube at Weekly Dose of BS. Bye.
Yay Media Group.